In 1976, when I went through the basic police academy, we had basically it was all done to get you to pass the practical pistol course. The PPC is still a competition, but it was all directed at that. And I can remember going home and visiting my dad. My dad asked me how the academy was going. My dad was a veteran at Iwo Jima. His unit got the Presidential Unit Citation for driving landing craft onto the beach. He lost 80% of his unit. He did not know why he was alive. So he understood a little bit about conflict. And I can remember saying to him, Dad, we just went through the firearms part, and it didn't make any sense. I didn't know anything about gunfighting. 1960s television, which probably stunted me more than helped me. But I made a statement to him that changed my life. I said, you know, Dad, I wish I could talk to somebody who'd been in a gunfight. He didn't even look away from the TV set. He said, son, go down to the Legion Hall. There's lots of them. Off I went. It's the Legion Hall right over there in Miamisburg. You passed it if you've gone to Bullwinkle's or Bennett's or the Hamburger Wagon or anything. That's where I went. I walked in, and of course I had hair from the 70s and bell bottoms and shit. And these crusty old World War II veterans, you know how that went. So they said, hey, cop kid, what do you, I tried to explain to them what I wanted, and they finally sat me down at the end of the bar with a guy that looked at me about 400 years old. He was probably not much older than I am now, probably early 70s, but he was a veteran of the trench and tunnel warfare of World War I. And he got to talking to me and started talking about the things that happened. And as he spoke, the tears just came out of his eyes, and his hands shook as he tried to. And I just sit there for an hour and a half, and I was like, I think I early on knew what it was like to get hit with a stun grenade. Because I left talking to him and thought, I'm not ready for anything like that. There's no way. And let's face it, most of the guys that went, they weren't ready either. You know, like the pilots, the rule of 5. Yeah. That's kind of what made me so passionate about my mindset lecture and trying to get across to you what this was like. Anyway, what that led to was almost 4 decades of talking to everybody I could that had been in gunfights. World War I veterans, World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans. I got the opportunity to sit down with a group of the Rangers from the Battle of Mogadishu, the Black Hawk Down incident. Fascinating stuff. They had some really interesting things about the AR-15 or the M4 carbine and stuff like that. And then along the way, lots of cops, because that's where I was. Nowadays, more and more armed citizens. And the thing I can tell you is that each classification has its own dynamics. Whereas I would strongly encourage you to take classes from those special operations veterans. What they faced isn't going to be exactly like what you faced in the Walmart, or you may face in a Walmart parking lot. And if you could, it would be great, but can you imagine being able to call in an airstrike? I'm getting ready to be mugged.
That's even better.
A-10. But anyway, they all have their thoughts on it, and they're all worthwhile. My thought is, do you have to have been in a gunfight to teach us? No, not really, no. But when you're talking about like tunnel vision, if you've been through that situation where you've experienced that, it gives you a viewpoint that you won't have if you haven't been through it.
Yep.
So that's kind of my thought on the matter. But no, I haven't got stacks of cordwood of dead bodies and stuff like that. There are people I know who have. There are people who are like that. So some of the more fascinating cases are cops whose shootings have been questioned and the legal mess they went through. You just feel like, wow, they did not deserve that. You know, the guy that shoots a teenager who had an airsoft gun in their hand, it's heartbreaking stuff. Because everybody thinks, well, this cop slayed this guy. The turmoil that cop goes through, it is more punishment than they would ever get in prison. So what Handgun Combatives is, it's a mixture of the interviews that I have taken, my own personal experiences that I've had a few situations, my training, talking to, it's just all a mixture of it. And then, of course, my bias on how the human body works. I'm not sure very many people inboard manipulate still to this day, but I still think it was the best way. Last night, the folks in the reduced light class, we kind of built on that. Relay 2 will get some of that stuff today, but really kind of hard when you're holding the flashlight here to come over top and do that. But when you ask them why, they can't, I mean, biomechanically, they can't tell you why. They just say, it comes down to, well, tradition mostly. You know what I mean? I'm going to give I'm going to give Tom Givens credit. Tom Givens, Lee Weave, and John Herm, who were his 2 primary guys, they came and took my combative pistol class because they wanted to see how I taught that. And you know what? Instead of standing behind me and motherfucking me for something you don't really comprehend, those guys came and took it. And when you guys will shoot the standards on Friday, when Tom shot my pistol standards, he did it my way. All 3 of them did. Well, John Hearn got kind of fucked up in the head. And that's actually on video. Lee Weaves likes to play it on his podcast, which is kind of funny. But, I mean, you know, I respect the heck out of that. They may not advocate it, but, you know, doing that, paying the money. They didn't ask for gratis classes. They paid the money and came. That's kind of why I recommend their training. That's kind of the guys they are, yes.
I don't know anybody else who teaches the inboard manipulation, and I can't speak for anybody else here, but I've pressure tested it, and it works better for me.
Well, Lee Weaves, who is a certified handgun combatives instructor and a certified range master instructor, will tell you it's faster. But when in Rome, you do it their way. You know, is this going to get you killed? No. What I'm saying is I think this is biomechanically superior, and when you turn the gun like this and pull it back, it clears everything but the gun locked up. Yes, sir.
He texted me yesterday. He thought I was in Murfreesboro. He was on his way through, and I told him where I was. He said he would have been out here if he hadn't.
Who was that, sir?
Lee Weems. And he told me, he said
he wanted to be here, but he had a class he was teaching or something.
But he said that if he were starting over, he would do it inboard. He said the only reason why he's doing it the way he is still is because of his reps.
Thousands of
repetitions. And he would take reps and reps to fix it, but he said if he was starting over, he would do it inboard.
Well, he actually did a little study on it and found out that it was, not remarkably, but it was faster. And like I tell people, when bullets are inbound, how much time do you got? And again, my biggest advocation is the fact that everything is done right here between you and them. There's no going over here. Go to all the instructors you can. Certainly, I mean, if you're going to get a carbine class, it makes sense to go to one of those former special ops guys. I mean, the cops, yeah, they're using the AR, but not like what those guys are. You know, handgun, you may be better off with a police officer or a private citizen because the military guys, it's a secondary gun. It's something you transition to in your carbine. Doesn't mean they don't have thoughts on it. But, you know, I went to a SWAT training conference where I did 2 3-day 8-hour classes. And they shot some of the kinetic drills like you shot yesterday and we'll shoot today. And they shot the course standards you'll shoot tomorrow. And they were awful. They could not pass my basic course standards. And when I left, they MF'd me in my reviews. Well, this isn't the kind of thing that we were doing, and we don't think it was relevant for what it was. And basically, it was hard feelings because we're SWAT guys and our pistol skills suck. And they'll tell you, well, you know, when we're in SWAT, that's not our primary weapon. Are you a full-time SWAT guy? Well, no, I'm a detective, I'm a patrol officer. The handgun's your primary weapon. Armed citizens, you may like shotguns, you may like carbines, but you know what? The handgun is your primary weapon. And just maybe it's a smaller gun than you're here with. That's okay, I don't care. But let's be honest, this is going to be your primary weapon. So it behooves you to get pretty good at it, don't you think? Yeah. And the more training, the better. Who was telling me last night that hardwired training is going to be here in Dayton? This, you know. Now I'm thinking about taking that. I've never trained with Daryl Bolke and
Wayne Johnson.
Okay, well, thank you. I may take that class. Well, you're retired. Why are you doing that? I'm retired. I'm still interested in the subject matter. I just don't want to teach it anymore. but I'm still interested in what folks are doing, so I may take that class.
Not dead, you still got ammo.
I'm not dead, and I still have ammunition. Yeah, but there's, I mean, Pat McNamara, Mike Pannone, Paul Howe, all of those guys I'm sure are brilliant. I have not been to their training, but I've seen some of their videos. I've kind of seen what they do. I'm sure it's fantastic. I've never been to a Travis Haley video, but looking at the videos of what he does with that Virtua system, I'd like to go to that. I think that stuff is terrific. So, you know, reach out there. Don't try to like classify certain instructors. Do a smorgasbord. Get them all. So when you get the opportunity for somebody that will sit down with you and tell you about their story, listen to them. Don't put your entire doctrine and future training on the basis of this one story, because the situation varies so greatly from situation to situation. But it's really good stuff. You learn a whole lot of things like that. And every interview that I've ever undertaken is here in this doctrine. It's here. So, but yeah, it's a lot easier to research what happens in gunfights now than it was back in my day.
Pay attention.
Pinky
Your hands.
drill.
It's a direct feedback kind of drill. Or the pinky slipping off. What's curling? What's squeezing? Here we go. Up on target on your dot. Single shots, nice and smooth. Ready? Shoot. Shoot. Stay on him, stay on him, stay on him. Shoot. Stay on him, stay on him. Shoot. Relax for a second. Once I see your hands shaking like a dog shit
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it keeps slipping.
It works though. I mean, it totally isolates that muzzle movement.
All right, here we go.
Who knew?
Up on target. Stay on him, get those pinkies right. Shoot! 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 One more. Shoot! One more. Shoot! All right, sever to the whole face.
Somebody's anticipating. Own it, own it, own it. Yeah, not too shabby. I have to admit, guys, that pinky thing, I'd never seen it before. That's why I paced to get out the training.
Have you ever been to a class and they tell you, we're getting ready to teach you how to move?
Let's do that again. I want a good picture.
Yeah, and repeat that, because I really want to make sure we get that.
Okay, everybody on my chest? I didn't fake you out? No?
You went to the different side that time.
You only went left and right, you didn't do up and down.
I mean, everybody says, yeah, while you're drawing, move laterally to try to get outside their action. Really, dude? Here to here? How much time do you think it's going to take them to catch up?
Not quicker than you can move.
I mean, think about this. And again, we're going to go back to sports. You look at the speed of how a baseball that's coming out, and the fielder that grabs the ball and sees a base runner running at full speed and is still able to pick and throw the ball. I mean, they take all that in, and we think a single lateral step while we're drawing is going to fake that guy out. I'm not trying to trash other people's program, but the single lateral step is not the end, it's merely the beginning. Because getting off the X, being right here, and then suddenly not being there is a valid technique, but it's going to be more than just a single step. That's just not going to be enough. I realize there are times when it may be all the space you have, but even then it should be, what's the right word? It should probably be a little bit more vigorous than how we tend to do it on the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about lateral movement and how to do it properly. Now, what we are going to ask you to do is a little bit different than how you normally would move. If I'm going to ask you to take a side step, what is normal for you, since I'm going to go to the right, and I'm over-exaggerating these movement, guys, don't think I'm trying to act like I'm a chicken or something. But what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the right foot, you'll step out, and you'll go over. Right? Yeah. If I'm going left, I pick up the left foot, and I go back out. That's not how you want to do this. If you want to dynamically, aggressively, explosively, whatever words you like, not be here or get off the X, what you're going to have to do if you're moving in that direction is push off the foot that's contrary to the direction you're going. It's much like a sprinter getting into the starting blocks. He has 1 foot back and he has 1 foot forward. And this leg is far more bent than the rear one. When he explodes out of the blocks, which foot is he pushing off of? Yeah, the more one that's more bent. You will get more explosive movement from this leg right here pushing off than you will from this leg here trying to pull you in a direction. Did I say that well? So what we're talking about is I'm standing here like this, and Carrie's got a gun on me, and I'm going to get off the X. I'm going to push off of it. But then did you see when I came to a stop, so I didn't run into him, I almost tipped over. So, okay, I get off the X pretty aggressively, and I get that millisecond of time. And then I get here, and I tip over on the ground. Who's going to win? Probably
With a smile on her
because
face.
that action response, that action reaction time, by doing that, I'm not going to garner seconds. I'm going to garner milliseconds. I may get a half a second of lag time on her part, but that half second may be just enough to draw that pistol and put rounds in her direction, provided I can explosively move off and draw at the same time, which is easier said than done. Unless you're just doing this. That's easy to do, man. Those two targets are the same person.
Yep.
It's just at most places, including this one, they want you shooting straight back in, not at an angle. Okay? So you'll be here like this, and it's like you're already in the battle. And you're gonna go, or just like that, going around. Then what we will do, pull him out of the way, put your guns together, and then you'll move over the paper targets as if they are the person standing there. And we'll do a live fire.
All right, you're gonna be using finger guns, right? No hopping. Remember, you gotta use that leg to push off, and you're gonna be stopping. Not doing that scissor action, all right? Football players, you know what I'm talking about. Finger guns only. Not doing any of the muzzle conversion work quite yet. But this keeps you from stepping on each other.
Ready to go.
Yeah, if we see that thumb back, we know what's up with you.
That's the way that Secret of Service operates.
Here we go, finger guns in front of you. I'll be calling you moving right or moving left. Pay attention to the direction. Here we go. Dave's gonna be watching those legs, how you're pushing off, or if you're just hopping. Ready? Move right. Move left. Strong. Move right. Move left. Try not to crisscross your feet. Move right. Move left. Back right. Move left. Right. Don't forget to push off and stop. Move right. Whoa. Other right. Uh-huh. You knew that was coming.
I was waiting on it.
You all right? Sorry about that.
Knew that was coming. Here we go, finger guns.
I don't even know what target I'm on anymore.
Ready. Move right. Left. Right. Focus. Don't forget to push off. Left.
You guys got to work with us. This is the same person. We can't shoot at angles here, right? We got to shoot directly in. So we're using two targets that represent the same person. This poor schmuck just happens to be in the way.
Behind me, so he's behind me, and he's probably doing this.
Yeah, get your phones out. Make it real.
Does everybody have somebody to be able to do muzzle diversion across? If you don't, we can borrow Darren or switch out. Doesn't matter.
I'll do
Hey
it.
man, this is going on my Instagram account. This is gonna be all kinds of awesome, man.
All right, if you encounter somebody in front of that gun, divert that muzzle. Guys that are up the hill, if it seems like they're pointing that gun at you and they're not diverting that muzzle enough, let them know.
Pick up a rock and throw it.
Take off and stop is the same thing you've already practiced.
You're doing that launch and that stopping stuff. You already know what to do. Simulate it's the same person. Muzzle diversion across. Here we go.
I don't want to, have a round
Get ready.
pop out.
Move right. Back on target. Move left. Find that guy. Move right. Move left.
And again.
Hold on. Caddy members.
That's right. Suck it, y'all. You're on video now. Yeah, bro. Why are you crossing your feet, maggot? You better stop doing that.
Move right. Divert those muzzles. Guys up range. Tell them. Move left. Hey, you pointed that gun at me. Move right.
That was
Move
good,
left.
but you kept the muzzle up.
Move right. Move left. You know what? Let's do 2 rounds on each movement call. 2 rounds. I'll shift you, then you'll fire 2. Then I'll shift you back, you'll fire 2 more. We'll try and get 5 calls, 5 sets of this. Here we go. Don't step on each other. Move with purpose. Here we go. Stand by. Ready. Move right. Focus. Move left. Push off and brake. Push off and brake. Ready. Move right. Move left. Move right. Move left. Divert. Move right. Move left.
Quit bunny hopping. You look like a bunch of little rabbits. You're pushing off, pushing back, pushing off, pushing back. You're not going beep, 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 beep. The reason you're doing that is because it's easier to do this than it is push off. It doesn't hurt your hips and knees as much. But if you're hopping, you're spending time in the air you don't need to spend. Go across, move lateral, explode off that spot. Okay?
Walk a shame. Move right.
Folks, remember, we're working the takeoff and the stop. If we got to work on your shooting at 12 feet, you might as well just don't go home.
That's it.
Okay?
Here we go, on target. Move left. Focus. Move right.
Have her come forward just a little bit. There you go.
On him. Move left. Move right. Back left. Draw out. Okay, you're on target. That's how we're going to start. Again, on your back and forths, try the upward diversion and the downward diversion as we work this. Here we go, first call. Ready? Move right. Divert. Hit him. Move left. work that muzzle up or down, Matt. Here we go. Move left. Move right. Move left. Once we get there, you should be prepared to shoot. Stand by. Move right.
Again, you missed.
Move left. Move right. Move left. Try both directions of muzzle diversion. Try both. Move right. Move left. It's been ingrained in you not to grab the gun as you're moving. So a lot of people are starting out, they hear the command, then they slide over, then they start the draw, and you just lost the whole purpose of getting off the X there, right? So you lost your time advantage. So as soon as I make that command of left or right, you should be starting that draw stroke so that when you get to your target, you're up and ready to fire. Does that make sense? Well, okay, 3 rounds. Just waiting on you, Todd.
No problem. I just wanted to get more time out here.
Not damn it, Todd.
Damn it, Todd and fucking Jenkins.
Right.
You know, there's a difference between this and this.
I'm a smaller target.
Don't take it personally, dude. Don't.
Welcome to the club, Todd.
Damn it, Todd.
Thanks for taking the pressure off me, Todd.
If he takes a dump, I'm done with it.
Right. Left.
Okay.
Right. Young lady. Left. All right, let's not throw away everything we've learned this week, right? I see a lot of people jerking it back to the holster. Are we getting that additional sight picture? Are we resetting in recovery? Is our front sight arriving where we want it to, okay? Right! Left! Right! Shank that one.
I got it.
Okay.
I've been trying to think, what does he remind me of?
Oh, this ought to be good.
The movie where the scarecrow's the gremlin and he attacks the school bus.
Yeah, what's that called?
What's that called?
Children of the Corn?
No,
You know what I'm talking about? It comes like every so many
They come
30
driving by,
years.
he goes like this.
And he's got,
He looks
and
at
he's- yeah, it looks like this guy. What's the name of that movie?
no, not Jeepers Creepers. That's to do with a fucking
Jeepers Creepers. That's it. That's him.
I was thinking Invisible Man.
That's the scarecrow guy right there. We give him some flipping wings and shit.
That's
Carry
a big
on.
scarecrow.
Huh?
You're a big scarecrow.
Yeah, I am a whole lot of man in one place.
Left!
Still young. Still
Right.
Mag, one in the chamber.
Left! All right, recover to the holster, recover to the holster. Look up and down the line looks clear, grab your magazine. recover the holster, recover the holster. Look up and down the line.
Hey, brother, want to throw me
Line
that?
looks clear, grab the magazine.
Sure. Thanks, sir.
Left! Your second shots, all right, your second shots are worse than your first shots. Why is that? Because your reload in between.
Literally just hover
getting
here,
in your
and you're
head.
facing
Hard to do
his
business.
fire. I'm right over his
Don't
shoulder.
accept a shit grip. I gotta do a reload, oh my God, I don't have to care about grip now.
And then watch.
True.
You watch as you move that way so you don't trip on anything.
All right, everybody's on target, on target. Left! Right! All right, go ahead and recover the holster, recover the holster. Up and down the line, we're clear. Go ahead and grab that magazine.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Stay on the same firing position you ended on, because we're going to go back in the other direction. Left! How's it working out with the grip these days as far as riding on that slide release? Well, I haven't. All right, everybody recover the holster.
In honor of Dave. That's right.
Those were the days.
All right, go ahead.
Those were the awesome days, Dave. I loved it
Extra mag fall out.
because it made the most sense of anything else I'd ever been taught.
Right!
Well intentioned.
Recover to the holster, recover to the holster.
Yeah, there's all kinds of
Line
bells
looks
right
clear,
there.
grab your magazine. Left! Recover to the holster, recover to the holster. Right! All right, recover the holster. Look up and down the line, recover the holster.
Much sooner than you were.
I'll work with you on your reload.
Right? You've been picking up on that, right?
All right, pick up your mags. Last run, this is our last
Thank
run.
you, sir.
Let's make it a good one.
On a few runs, that mag release was being hit here, and it's falling, and you're getting it. That time, within 2 steps, you were hitting that mag.
All right, let's get on target. Left! Get rid of it.
Look at that! As soon as you stopped, you're ready to shoot. That's some ninja shit.
All right, recover the holster.
Good job, Matt. Thank you, sir.
All right, go ahead and pick up your magazines.
Oh, don't you hate it when it does that?
This is if you're doing inboard manipulation. You hold the gun, you pull the slide back like you're getting ready to rack it to the rear, and you have that casing in your hand and slide it into the ejection port there.
You know what's funny to see? When somebody forgets and they tap and they roll it over here to rack it, but they're going that way. Feet get all twisted up and stuff.
Funny in a tragic sort of way.
Right!
You got that on video?
Yeah, I got that on video. Oh, Todd laid an egg.
Much appreciated.
Sideways on
Why is that on the ground?
All right, recover the holster.
Everybody does it, man.
Oh,
That's why you're here.
I thought somebody was grabbing a magazine. Do we need a mag? Are you good?
What'd he do?
He dropped his loaded mag on the deck
All right, go ahead.
instead of tap, racking, and
Left!
should I stop videoing you? Is that the problem?
I have no idea what the
All right,
problem
I'll
is.
stop.
Don't forget to tap the mag.
I'm getting a shot of her over your shoulder.
Oh,
Oh, it's gonna make it in the video.
She's much more photogenic than
It's gonna make it in the video.
All right, get it set up again. Right! set it up again.
Now I'm hungry.
That's great, man.
Fitting this taco in my mouth.
Respect my taco.
Don't touch my taco.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set up malfunction. If you want to take one of those cases, we're gonna go ahead and
I'll be back.
Okay.
You get everybody going. I'll just get
All right. We're gonna go ahead and drop a mag, insert a malfunction, then load the mag back in.
They say to use positive turns. Remember to keep all your shots on target.
All this bearing is a farce. All right, let's get on target. 2 rounds on target. Right. Tap rack. We're out the go. All right, way to finish strong, Matt. All right, let's set it up again. I'll tell you guys the same thing I told the last relay. If you have shit go sideways, finish strong. Don't just give up, okay? If it didn't come out or you didn't clear it, work it till you're finished. If you're in a real gunfight and you don't clear it the first time, are you just gonna stop? No, you're gonna keep working it till you get back on target. So do the same thing here.
Eye of the tiger. Eye of the tiger.
Yeah. Play the music.
Dun.
It's the Rocky song.
All right, on target. Left.
Pa' que chave tu madre.
All right, set it up again. Everybody's on target. Right. All right, let's set it up again.
America!
Go. Left. Again, is this the last one, your last casing?
The drill we're getting ready to do is what I use for the standard to determine whether or not somebody has really mastered the presentation. Because that's the problem with the red dot. It's the presentation. Deploying it so that you can see it in that window. We already talked about all that. My feeling is if you can draw from the holster, get 3 quick rounds, move laterally, get 3 quick rounds again, move laterally back, get 3 quick rounds, and you can find the dot, you've probably got it down pat. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Okay, good deal. My concern with the red dots is not durability, it's not droppability and all, like dropping it upside down in concrete, that's other people. My thought is don't drop your fucking gun. I mean, a law enforcement thing, you're tussling and all that can fall out of the holster. It seems to me with today's modern holsters, I don't see how a gun's gonna pop up and out of them like we had with the old leather holsters and revolvers. That was a problem we had now, but now they're Kydex fitted or injection molded. I don't see them jumping up out of a holster and falling on the ground during a struggle. Just saying, so I don't get into all that. My worry with the red dot sights is the unexpected shift of 0. Think about it. Well, just shift your irons. Why would I do that? The dot's still there. Well, but it's not 0. How will you know? Well, what do you mean? The dot will be there. You'll be trusting the dot. You'll be shooting at it. How that came about is I was teaching a class in Colorado. It was very early in my red dot use, as far as regularly. I was using a J-point on a Glock 19. J-point's a shield. They make it for them. So they're probably the earliest mini red dot. It was actually originally designed to be piggybacked on an ACOG back in the 90s. Because a 3.5 pound or 3.5 power ACOG at this distance, you can look at belly button hairs. You know what I'm saying? So it's terrible for close combat. they wanted a quick shift optic. And if you remember seeing it, they had these big metal wings and the little shield sight set inside of it. So when you lose an ACOG, all you do is this, and now you had a close quarter combat sight. People started shifting them to pistols because they were so small. The problem with them at that time is they were not recoil impulse rated. So you beat them up pretty fast. I was running the box drill, which you guys are probably going to run tomorrow. We're going to run out of time today, so you'll probably run it in the morning tomorrow. But you're basically moving from position to position, doing all the different movements we've covered. And I moved into the first position, got the hit, ran to the second position, got the hit, next position, got the hit. I ran back to the 15, turned and shot, and I was right on it with my dot. Pow! I missed. What's the first assumption? It's me. It's me. Fired again. I missed. Damn, I can't believe that. Third hit. I missed. At this point, I'm like, no, wait a minute, no. I don't suck that bad. Timeout. So I said, I just got to stop. Fortunately for me, it was a range in Colorado. It was mostly a big sand pit. So I said, now somebody spot for me. I just bear it in like this. Right on target, rolled the trigger back. I know the dot was right there when the shot broke. And the guy says, you're about 2 feet to the right. Do it again, 2 feet to the right. Do it again, 2 feet to the right.
Beautiful.
Now keep in mind, the shot I had just placed before that was 8 yards. I only moved to 15. I wouldn't have hit at 8 if I was shooting 2 feet to the right at 15.
No.
So somewhere between here and here, it shifted a click.
Maybe a couple clicks.
But how would you know that?
When
No,
you
I went back a click and I was back on. But it shifted on me. That's my worry. Because you won't know to shift your irons. If the thing goes out, screw it. You got a problem, you know it. You shift your irons or you shoot through the tube, depending on how far away you are. But if the dot is there, you're going to be inclined to use it. And when you start missing, you're going to think it's you. That's my concern with it. If I drop it and smash it flat, well, I'm going to know what I got and I'll just do something else. But if I'm looking at a dot, my assumption is it's on. It's only happened to me once, but it's something that really sticks in my mind.
Did you ever able to figure out why?
Have no idea. Have no idea.
Back when the EOTech was the new thing, they were the 512s, and we called them EOTurds because they went down constantly. So the joke was, find someone you don't like and just sell it to them.
So anyway, that's my concern with red dots. You can think what you want of them, they're here to stay, they're not going away. They're not like a laser sight or other things that I've seen come and go. The red dots are here, they're not going anywhere, they're just growing in popularity. I can remember the laser grips on revolvers, that was a fad. They're still around, but nothing came of them. They moved into pistols, nothing came of them. You can just tell when something is kind of a quick fad and something's going to stay. The red dot sight's going to stay. Too much following, and you can see it. You know, you're getting older, you can see it. You know, what I like about it though is when I'm talking about how to refine it, you bring it up here like this and you tighten down on it and bring it in. You get these young guys who say, you don't need to do that. Just line it up with your irons. You just stand there and stare at it. What? Didn't you just hear me in the little lecture I gave that I use the red dot because I can't see the irons? Then they, you know, us old people, we call that dipshittery. So, anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's all well and good to have irons. I can't see them. I can't see the irons. So they're there to make you guys happy. Yeah. There's alternate sighting methods, shooting through the tube, bracketing shots, you know, you can put a slash mark, that's all for the red dot class. But my fear of red dots is the unexpected shift of 0. What we're going to do now is the 9 and 9 drill. It's 9 rounds in 9 seconds. Now, it is an outcrop or an outburst. What would be the right word?
Outgrowth is
Iteration of what? A drill we originally did called 15 to the 3rd. 15 to the 3rd, you drew from the holster, you fired 5 rounds. As soon as the 5th round went, you moved laterally 5 yards. Fired 5 more. As soon as those were done, you moved back where you came from. 5 more on a 3x5 card. And 12 seconds. Unlike my friend Ken, who likes to gradual, if you got a shot out of here, you're down 1 second, all that, I don't do that. It's like a gunfight, you're the one who lost. There wasn't like, okay, well, like, you were kind of an A-level gunfight on that one, you were kind of a B-level. No, you did it or you didn't. And that was always my, and he's the competitive edge, I get it, okay. So anyway, he told me, he says, I really like that drill, but you know, with ammo at the time being 80 cents a round, he said, you ought to try to do something to pare it down. Well, you know, we can do it in 3. You get everything you want with 3 rounds. And, you know, he said, yeah, well, you're taking, you know, 6 rounds off of it, and then 80, that's not insubstantial. And, yeah, okay, fine. So we did it. We did the 3 and 3, or the 9 and 9, 3, 3, 3. So you got 9 rounds. And we gauged it out with shooters of different ages, and we came down at 9 seconds as our par time. However, due to popular demand, we gave you a gradual scoring. It goes like this. We feel like if you're carrying a gun for your personal security, you should be able to do that whole thing with all hits in 12 seconds. That's where you need to be. If you're doing it in 11 seconds, that's very good. If you're doing it in 10 seconds, that's exceptional. If you actually do 9 rounds in 9 seconds, all hits, we call that go fucking practice something else. You don't need this. Okay? So that's where it stands. Okay? 12 seconds is what we think you should be able to do. 11 seconds is very good. 10 seconds is exceptional, but we want to see 9 rounds in 9 seconds. And if you do that, you probably got this locked in. You will draw, shoot your 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3. Move lateral. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. All hits 9 seconds. That's the goal. The all hits in 12 seconds is where we think you should be if you're carrying a gun for your personal security. 11's very good. 10's excellent, exceptional. 9 is just, you shouldn't even be here. Go practice something else.
All right, shooter ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
We're on the phone.
Looks like I have multiple out.
1094.
1094. All right, I'm going to go down range and tape up.
Yeah. 1069. Just barely missed one. Not bad. There you go. 1481. Ready? Here we go.
These 3 kids, Russell, 3 furnaces up out of basement. They work their ass off.
Oh! Did I
fire the 3?
You shot 11 times.
Oh, okay.
9 and 9.
Okay. At least I cleared it like a champ, right?
Yeah, you actually had it in 12 seconds, I think.
All right. Hey, Darren, you guys doing something different down there?
Well, we thought we'd take it to the next level and do the 11 and 11.
Watch your target. This is for you. Stand by. .946 clean.
Good Lord.
Nice.
Nice.
Never argue with the big dog.
Nice.
It still should say
Good job, Dave.
without the hat.
Get it, boy, get it.
Ready, bro?
Yep.
Watch your target. Clean.
Woo!
10-26.
Nice. Yeah. Way to go, Mr. Bucky.
Come on, Dan.
No slanging, no Judy's.
Yeah, Judy shot.
Ready, D? Do you want to put a couple rounds through your gun, make sure it works?
I have no idea how much
Just
pressure
right
is
there,
on
just
when
shoot a couple rounds, just make sure
watch
you
it.
know.
Yeah, you haven't shot
Ready?
all day.
It's like that boy knows how to shoot.
Here we go.
Dang, he's a fast runner. Woo!
He's got those young legs.
Dang.
9-13, but I think you guys
Yeah, big deal, man.
Oh.
Hey, Bucky.
Good job, man.
I bet he is 20, over 20.
The man knows what he's doing.
If you slow down.
He's not like most instructors. He actually knows what he's doing. Uh-oh, lollipops up.
Ready, short step.
No, but I'm gonna try.
Watch your target.
Oh, I hung it. I forgot to prep my trigger on that first one that I picked up.
I love how she can talk and still hit at the same time.
Drop two.
Okay, so she stopped here.
Oh!
A guy who's
I was
football players,
talking.
we can barely break and
And
play
you-
I got bad
at the
news
same
for you.
time. I was thinking the same. How the